Ladies and gentlemen, they thought you were just another chapter in their story, another name to scribble on the pages of their life, right? A footnote to be forgotten. But what they failed to see, what they couldn't understand, was that you were not a chapter. You were the turning point. God placed you there, not to fit into their narrative, but to rewrite it entirely. And oh, how fate wrote in bold letters when you walked away. You were never meant to stay. No, you were meant to shake the ground beneath their feet. You were a storm sent to clear the air, to uproot their illusions, to force them to see the truth they so desperately wanted to avoid. God doesn't send his chosen ones to comfort. He sends them to challenge. And that's exactly what you did. They didn't understand. They didn't comprehend the weight of your presence, the divine purpose behind your love, your patience, your sacrifices. They thought you were like everyone else. But God doesn't craft chosen ones with ordinary hands. No, you were shaped by trials, by fire, by resilience. You were the lesson they didn't even know they needed. But now they can't escape it. Your kindness, it was a mirror, reflecting all the cracks in their soul. Your love, it was a test, and they failed spectacularly. And now, as they sit with their regrets, they're beginning to see you were never theirs to keep. You were a messenger, a catalyst, a divine reckoning. Every word you spoke, every act of kindness, every moment of patience, it was all part of the lesson. You were there to show them what love could be, what grace could feel like, what a real connection could look like. But they mistook your purpose. They thought you were there to stay, to endure their indifference, their selfishness, their disrespect. They see it now. Oh, they see it. With such clarity, it burns. They see how their actions were a test of their character and how miserably they failed. They see that you leaving wasn't just a choice. It was the inevitable conclusion of their choices. God sent you as a light, but they chose the shadows. You extended your hand, but they slapped it away. You gave them love, and they responded with complacency. And so the lesson was set in motion, because God doesn't waste his chosen ones on unworthy hearts. No, he sends them to teach, to awaken, and then to leave. And now they're left to wrestle with the aftermath of your absence, the emptiness they feel. It's not just about losing you. It's about losing the chance to grow, to change, to be better. Because in losing you, they lost a part of themselves they didn't even know they needed. They'll sit in the quiet moments, haunted by the memories of what they had and what they lost. Your laughter, it will echo in their minds. Your touch will linger on their skin. Your words will replay in their thoughts. And they'll realize too late that you were never just a person. You were a divine intervention sent to break their patterns, to disrupt their comfort, to force them to face themselves. But instead of rising to the occasion, they clung to their old ways, their ego, their fears. And so you left, as you were always meant to. Their regret, it will be their prison. The bars made of what-ifs, and if only. They'll think back to the moments they could have chosen differently, the times they could have treated you better, appreciated you more. But regret is a teacher that comes too late, as the days turn into weeks, and the weeks turn into months. They'll start to see the ripple effects of your presence. They'll notice how their relationships feel hollow, how their life feels stagnant, how their soul feels restless, because you didn't just touch their life, you changed its course. And while they're drowning in their regret, you'll be soaring. God doesn't just place chosen ones in others' lives without reason. No, He lifts them up when their purpose is fulfilled. Your blessings are waiting. Your reward is coming. Your joy is assured. They'll watch from afar, unable to reach you, unable to touch you, unable to undo the damage they caused. And it will eat at them, day by day, as they realize the magnitude of what they lost. But here's the beauty of it all. You don't need their acknowledgement, their apologies, their validation. Your worth isn't tied to their recognition. You know who you are. You know your purpose. And you know that leaving was not just an act of self-preservation. It was an act of divine obedience. They'll try to find someone like you, but they'll fail, because God doesn't duplicate his chosen ones. You were unique, a once-in-a-lifetime presence, a lesson wrapped in love, a challenge disguised as a gift. Their regret, it will settle into their bones like the chill of a winter night, unshakable, relentless. They'll carry it everywhere they go, a silent reminder of what they had, and carelessly let slip through their fingers. Deep gnawing void that time cannot fill, because you weren't just anyone. You were sent, chosen, destined to be their wake-up call. And oh, how they pressed snooze. In their moments of solitude, when the world quiets and distractions fade, your face will surface in their mind. It will be in the stillness of midnight or the glow of dawn. When the weight of their choices hits hardest, they'll recall your patience, your kindness, your unwavering love, and they'll ask themselves why they couldn't rise to meet it. But the answer will always be the same. They weren't ready for someone like you. The irony is sharp, isn't it? They thought they were in control, that their actions were harmless, that their choices wouldn't have consequences. But the divine doesn't work that way. Every tear you shed, every sleepless night, every moment of pain, it was all recorded. And now, the scales are balancing. God doesn't let his chosen ones suffer in vain. They'll look for you in everyone they meet, trying to recreate the connection they took for granted. But every smile, every laugh, every touch will fall short, because you weren't just a person. You were an experience, a once-in-a-lifetime event. They didn't just lose you. They lost the best version of themselves, the version of themselves they could have been with you. And as the seasons change and the years pass, their regret will age like wine, growing more potent, more bitter. It will remind them in 1,000 small ways. The way a certain song plays, the way someone laughs, the way the light hits their window just so. You'll haunt their senses, a ghost they cannot escape. They'll try to distract themselves, to bury the regret under layers of work, relationships, and noise. But distraction is temporary, and their guilt is permanent. No matter how fast they run, they'll never outrun the truth. They failed you. They failed themselves. And while they're stuck in their cycle of self-recrimination, you'll be thriving. God doesn't just place his chosen ones. He also exalts them. Your reward is coming. Your joy is near. Your purpose is fulfilled. Let them regret. Let them learn. You are free. And so, as they sit in the shadow of their own choices, you'll be walking into your destiny, radiant, free, unstoppable. Let them remember. Let them regret. You're moving forward, exactly as you were meant to. The best is still to come.